Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Nico here, and this is now episode 17, I believe, of the Road to Masters. Still not quite there, but on a good track to hopefully reach Diamond very soon. And let's see what we have here. So Baron and Armand quickly snatched by players 4 and 3. Makes quite some sense here. Let's see what we have. Holo Projector, very versatile one. I like it. Chomurky endgame. Maybe too early right now, but it can make sense. Oh, a Guild Banker, Chom Directorship. I think we have quite some faction accesses here as well. I think it calls for a Tessia here. It is quite interesting. I think if we can get that Guild Bankers, it's definitely something we would want to get. So being player 1 is obviously not our favorite spot, but with Tessia it's maybe not the worst. Hopefully we have a balanced hand, and by that I would mean just one faction access, signaturing. Well, we have a bit of everything here and basically nothing in our next hand. That's how it looks. Let us see what we want to do here. I think it still calls for a full space. And probably a diplomacy second one, and we ignore the signaturing. That will leave us enough for the guild bankers. That's actually a very strong first conflict for Baron. If no one goes and steals his hardy warriors base, because obviously winning that conflict would mean he can get his interstellar shipping access at the end of this round. Let's see if, yeah, most likely Armand will let him have it, because Armand's priorities are probably rather with the non-faction boards, although that could go through wealth and menta still, but it does not seem to be his intention. Just a negotiator, given he doesn't have any spice, obviously. And that is hardy warriors for Baron. I think for us now probably diplomacy to wealth, grabbing a bit of Solari could make sense. Maybe a second water actually to line up potential great flat next round and have enough for a conspire at some point. But I mean, our next hand is a bit thin anyways in terms of faction accesses. We have nothing, so no, let's just get a bit of faction, of influence early. That's what Tessia likes. Especially given we are first player. Oh, an early reveal. Is that the guild bankers? Probably. That's really not something I wanted. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's completely... Ah, okay, he was forced into revealing. Anyways. Yeah, I was saying maybe would I have been the last player here? I would have maybe gone for still suits instead of wealth to participate in the conflict, but given at the time of our decision everyone still had an agent, I didn't want to risk it, and definitely not committing more than one troop in here. Yeah, Armand style, exactly. Just getting an easy reward out of one troop makes sense, especially if it can be 2 spies. That's a nice return on investment. So if we get that guild bankers, we will for sure focus on persuasion, and maybe a hollow projector could also make sense to make the most out of it potentially, but that's obviously a bit more like mid-term. So we get our guild bankers, which is also great. Early it will probably not be that useful for Spice Must Flow, but those faction accesses are obviously also quite useful. And that directorship, if we can get that, that's just nasty with Tessia. Obviously the goal is still to get those snooper tokens as quickly as possible, getting the most out of those rewards, and snatching usually 2 alliances is quite a reasonable bet with Tessia. And with the directorship you get there so much quicker. I mean, you don't need me to tell you how much of an influence difference the directorship makes. Actually, could have been a play then. Now that I'm thinking, Still Suits would give us enough water for a reconnaissance to research station. Then again, we would have 4 persuasion in our hand, drawing 3 cards. Given what we have now, still a bit of a stretch. So Baron taking an early lead here, certainly taking influence with the Spacing Guild. Siege of Arakin. We could see ourselves trying to fight for that, to be honest. An early victory point from a conflict is quite valuable, and we are last player here, so wouldn't mind that too much. Should we maybe get our dagger to tech negotiation? Actually puts us on 6 here. But then yeah, reconnaissance. Best case we get actually to 7, so we're still 1 short of that directorship. And there's no way we get water for any potential research station. But we could line ourselves up for maybe a Haga Basin, get a bit of spice for next round, potentially. Let's actually see what people played in terms of daggers, and their round 1 hand usually gives us quite a bit of an idea. So 1 dagger Baron, nothing from Armand, 1 dagger Tessia, both from Ilban. Oh yeah, we are Tessia, so our daggers don't matter obviously. Armand played the dagger and revealed the dagger. No, he did not reveal the dagger. Sorry, Baron revealed the dagger. And that's it. So basically they probably both have one dagger in hand. If my count is right. So should we maybe draw a card? No, I don't think we have much value in doing that. Maybe a card tag and then, or maybe first Imperial Basin. No, let's first do card tag. Maybe a combat card could help. It is not. But let's jump in. It is a bit of a bluff, to be fair, because we don't have much to follow through. We still have one troop garrisoned here, and that's basically it. And a dagger that we probably will be able to keep. So Ilban, he revealed his two daggers before and didn't draw any of them. So if we send another troop, we beat him, especially given he doesn't have an intrigue card. But his play is not the worst for us, because maybe it deters Baron from following through, because he doesn't have any more garrison, so he cannot do much there. And obviously he unlocked shipping, so his priorities shifted. So I think we should be able to win that conflict by coming to Imperial Basin, sending that troop in. Although obviously 4 Solari would also be quite healthy for us right now, bringing us that much closer to a Swordmaster, but a victory point is a victory point. So that's where counting cards, or let's say cheating with the log, makes most sense, is then we can really anticipate what players will be revealing, at least to a certain extent, for the second hand, based on what they revealed on the first one, and that makes the combat so much more predictable. Baron has an intrigue card though, so he might just sneak in there, but unless there is one that allows you to lose one influence and then gain swords. Otherwise the maximum he will get is 4 with an ambush, given he doesn't have enough spice for those more powerful ones. So let's see if he will still follow through with that, if he has one. Space travel for the sake of faction access maybe, and it has persuasion, draws a card, so maybe not the worst. Arrakis Liaison obviously is not a bad option either, but I think for now we will favor faction accesses. I know it's also just one access on that card and it's not the most powerful, but it means that we can probably focus maybe more with the Emperor, with the Guildbanker if we use it as an agent, and it means with the Diplomacy we can probably focus more the bottom two ones, the Fremen and Bene Gesserit. And we win that conflict. This is a good point to earn. So it's really not a convincing hand for anything related to persuasion, for sure. So I think probably diplomacy will go to a Fremen space to maybe still fight for something here, although not as a first agent. Maybe our first agent could be guild bankers to Fault Space, get that snooper token, discard reconnaissance, get a spice out of it. Problem is we are far from having our Swordmaster, and given this we will most likely be the last one to obtain it. But I think it will have to be one of those games and see if we can still make something happen despite that. Maybe actually we start rather with wealth, then this snooper token, or the thing is, what do I favor? Usually I would prefer obviously getting that bonus. I think the second snooper token gives us the bonus of the faction. So obviously I would prefer the 2 troops most of the time, but right now, given our need of Solari, it could make sense to choose it rather here. Maybe not. Let's keep that option open, but let's first start with the Fault Space. And let's discard a reconnaissance, because anyways we won't have any persuasion. I mean maximum 1. Had we rather trashed it, discarded a dagger. But 1 is not something we want to spend anyways. So let's keep the daggers and maybe send something in the combat with the Hardy Warriors if it's still open. And potentially fight for that conflict, depending on what Armand mainly is doing now. Well, seems this is not happening. So given that, are we maybe... Actually for next round we might be able to prepare for a Chome directorship, because we have quite some cards here. Fault Space, maybe a signaturing to Research Station. Fault Space draws us another card. And here, how much do we have outside of those 2 cards? We have 2, 4, 6, 7. We draw another 2 cards out of those 7 cards on top of that. I mean, so it could work. So maybe diplomacy to still suits, just to grab that second water. I was rather eyeing up a wealth, to be fair, for our Solari. But anyways, next round we won't have it, because Ilban will have it, and we are not able to get 4 Solari right now. So I think we can wait, Solari can wait. And that Chome directorship could mean a lot to us. It would allow us to take an option on that alliance and get 2 snooper tokens out of the way. If we can choose, probably start with the Fremen, so that we can just get a water out of here. And here we get the influence progress, so that we can also claim an option on that alliance. Let's reveal some daggers. Should we actually maybe trash dagger? Let's actually do it to improve our chances at a good draw next round for the directorship. Well, that's a huge disappointment. I did not see that one coming, but right, I should have checked. I mean, he went to High Council, so it was still a bit of a hint about that. Well, treachery is not too bad neither for us, definitely. But that directorship, that would have meant a great deal. Oh, another treachery. Wow. So Armand seems to be winning that conflict. Oh, no. That is a Baron win. Unless Armand has something to retaliate. Let's try to at least buy one of those treachery. It could still be quite a powerful tool for us. Maybe we want Haga Basin. Haga Basin with Signet Ring. Maybe then a Conspire afterwards. Yes, I think it can make sense. Let us do that. And here, which bonus do we want? Maybe we want a water back, or it also gives us the Siege Tower. And then we keep the bonus bumps for those two least popular factions. I think it makes sense. Let's decrease here. And get one water back. I think that is alright for us. And we will most likely have our Swordmaster before Baron if Conspire is free by the time it's our turn to play, but it should be because Baron and Armand don't have enough spies for it. So let's hope so, and Fold Space will draw us one of those two cards. Any will work for a treachery that we hopefully can pick up. Arakin gives us a Solari. That's a great return. I feel a bit behind, but when looking at the leaderboard and how we earned our victory points, with one of them being one of those extra, let's say, that are like, I mean, typically the Baron also has one, but those points feel a bit better than the normal ones. those normal ones, you can always get them technically. No one can contest them from you. It's just a bit of commitment, but you should get them. Those extra points, they feel good. But I feel a bit behind because of that Swordmaster still missing. Fact that we are running a bit behind in terms of Solari as well. We don't have a High Council. I mean, look at Ilban, for instance. High Council, Swordmaster already sorted. We are scratching the surface here with now having enough for a Swordmaster. I would have preferred drawing the other one, like being a bit picky with that, but interstellar shipping next round could make sense, just to get a bump here and at some point be able to trigger that. It's always a good bonus, obviously, to have. It would also give us a bit of a Solari, potentially. Obviously, those two troops, we don't say no. That little bump in an influence track that we can choose. It's just very versatile. And now having both here means we are not guaranteed we will have one in our hand next round. We have full space signaturing also, so we have 4 cards giving us those accesses out of 10. And out of those 10 we will only draw 4, given we have already one sorted here in our deck. So we can hope to have one, we should be able to have one, but I start to be notorious with my horrible draws, so let's hope history doesn't repeat this time. Could have been nice for a power play, to be fair. I would have done it ideally directly. Shifting allegiances I would also use it for, but right now I think we just keep it warm. Okay, so you don't have a choice. If you pay 2 spice, you get it on top of your deck regardless. Because I think another intrigue card gives you an extra 2 persuasion, and it says you may put that card on top of your deck, if I'm not mistaken. So, Baron, for some reason a bit slow here. Actually, I'm talking about interstellar shipping, but of course not. It will be Swordmaster first things. Let's set our priorities straight. What is that deck he used? I mean AI used? Holo Projector. That's a treachery for Baron. And that's one for us. How many Landsrad access do we have? 1, 2, 3. Thinking of maybe using bypass protocol for Sardaukar Legion to at least ensure we have a Swordmaster next round, but I think we should be okay. We have 3 here, and we have the... Oh, we don't see it anymore? That's weird. The signaturing, maybe something else as well? No. So we only have 4 actually. Trashing that beauty that we missed out on. That would have done so much for us. So, if they could up a bit the tempo, wouldn't be so bad. But I can't really complain because I'm also sometimes quite slow. Obviously, talking to you guys at the same time is not as easy. The brain works a bit quicker than my mouth, so I try to put everything into words. Sometimes it mixes up a bit, sometimes I'm a bit slower because of that when doing my turns, so I can't complain. But yeah, if we could up the tempo here a bit, it would be good. How did that happen? I thought it was already Armand's turn and he undid something. Ah, it's just them because we already revealed. Okay, no. So Armand did indeed finish his turn, and then they're just playing them too right now, given they have 3 agents. It makes sense. It's probably a Spice Must Flow, no, for Armand right now. Oh, that's a nice play. That's very nice. Being able to scare everyone off with your heavy involvement, and then once the round is over, you're the last player, you reveal Chani, and you take them back. And repeat next turn. Another victory point out of the conflict. Crazy, it feels like all of them were there. So we definitely send a dagger there. We probably won't even go once to interstellar shipping, it seems like, at least. Maybe we would still do a smuggling with Dune the Desert Planet, unless we want a bit of extra spice here. Which might actually not be a bad idea, lining up for a... Yeah, we have so many spacing guild accesses. Around 7 Hayliner could be a good idea. I kinda like that. On the other hand, going to smuggling gives us just that missing Solari for maybe a Dreadnought. Detonation device. He has not bought a Dreadnought yet. I think... I mean, getting a Dreadnought could be nice, but the problem with that is we don't visit any combat space in that case. And I kinda want to still get involved here, terrible purpose, maybe trashing a dagger, getting a victory point. I think it's quite attractive. So let's... Actually, we could get a... we could get a Solari out of here to maybe get a Dreadnought next round. Because, yeah, Great Flat would make sense, but as of now we are not in a hurry, no one else has 2 waters. So it's probably between Kartag and Arakin. Let's go to Arakin. Getting that extra Solari convinced me, otherwise I would probably have gone for another Uh, let's get up a bit with the Bene Gesserit, because we don't really have that many faction accesses for that, only diplomacy. And we want, obviously, to also reach that token at some point. And this I won't mind visiting again. Fremen, I mean. Oh, I was quite in a hurry here, because the AI most likely would have spent it on some doubtful things that we can find here. And I would prefer that not to happen. Especially not against my spies. Hardy warriors. So he's probably set on winning that conflict again. Maybe instead we go to still suits with false space, getting that influence back. Because I don't really like revealing false space. It's a bit of a waste. And nobody else has 2 water anyway, so we can afford waiting maybe one more round and getting up maybe 5 out of here. Unless Ilban ends up second, in which case he would have enough water, but that's a bet I'm willing to take right now. But false space draws us another card here. I mean, treachery could actually... No, it won't make us win the game as a combat anyways. Yes, let's do this. Treachery is here. Well, I guess that cements our second spot, which is not too bad. Then it means 4 water, leaves us enough for a great flat and probably a research station somewhere down the line. Given that spice will most likely be used for Hayliner, probably means another research station or some extra spice again. And there we have some nice synergy. But next round, not sure exactly what we will be doing, because I don't really want to visit Hayliner too early, but let's say we have almost only that in our hand. But we can use it for some other things, obviously. I think getting those Nupu tokens out of the way, probably first secrets to just get that bump, and here then getting the bump plus the troops, I think is a better bonus for us right now. We have 5. I think we can go for a bit of persuasion here. Emptying the deck. We actually only have 13 cards. We trashed 1 dagger. Yeah, fair enough. We bought 5 cards, is it? How did Ilban get to 3 water now? How does that happen? Siege Tabo? Yeah, that's something I didn't think for some reason. But that only explains 1 water. Where? Oh, glimpse the path. Alright. Well, he's gonna be in a position to take the Great Flat, most likely. Well, we could still take Hagabasin, and by then it will be enough spice for us as well anyways. Do we have a triangle? Yes, we have Dune, the desert planet. Then maybe picking up a dreadnought could be good for us, which we could with guild bankers, although at this point maybe we want to use it for a reveal if we get there. Because with 3 water technically we could do Hagabasin and research station if we get there. Let's see, maybe we want to focus a bit more on those 2 influence tracks right now, because that could represent a maximum of 4 bonus points if everything goes well. Oh, that's a significant lead now for Armand. Another victory point. I feel like we only had victory points for level 2 conflicts, which is quite unusual. So this kinda compromises this faction for now, which is maybe not the worst thing. We can probably focus on maybe Dune somewhere here. Well, he took the Great Flats, but that's okay. We can take Hagabassin. It will leave us enough spice as well for an Hayliner. And I'd like as well Research Station. Keeping probably the Guild Banker and seeing how much we can make in terms of persuasion. Our last agent could even go to selective breeding if we're close to a second spicemus flow at that point. Although I'd prefer not doing that ideally, because obviously we would have 7 spice, so then we would be 1 short of a Hayliner next round. So let's first pick up that spice. Restricted Ordinance is a powerful one to have, especially starting with those heavy combats. I mean, even before that, obviously, it's just a great overall deck. He's got a detonation device, so he's out of a Dreadnought for now, thankfully. Probably won't make use of it anytime soon. Baron spamming that shipping. Shuttle fleet could be cool, but might be something... Oh no, he took invasion ships, which makes sense as well, although now his garrison is almost a bit too big, to be fair. By experience, I was quite happy having that a couple of times before round 7, but it's too hard to put in all of that at once, while a Hayliner might bring more value out of those troops, ironically. But a shuttle fleet, could that be of interest for us? I know it's the spice we so badly want to keep for a Hayliner, but it might bring more value. Let's see afterwards anyways, because the only way of going there is with the guild bankers, but right now, well, that's not a lot of persuasion now, is it? That's terrible. Terrible draw. We have 3 cards with 2 persuasion here left. Maybe we still do a diplomacy to selective breeding to get that super token out to match him here and potentially Ah, he takes that alliance. That is annoying. Then we could just do dagger to dreadnought. At least it leaves us the 6 that we need for the guild banker. And do we just spend that on the shuttle fleet? Then we could go up here and here. Not sure it's worth it over a Hayliner. Hayliner could put us in a very good position. But then again, it's probably not going to happen next round given our hand. Oh, actually yes, we have treachery. Treachery would bring us also the alliance at the same time, which would be great. But then what are we doing now? I don't really want to do an early reveal, but then again, is it our only way to now get a Spicemas flow? Because if it is, I'll have to do it for sure. Or I still do a dagger to Dreadnought, I just don't buy any tech. That could be a way of still doing something out of that third agent, while making sure we can spend. Yes, it's the only way for me to keep the spice, typically not going to selective breeding, and yet still have enough for a Spicemas flow. So let's do it that way. It hurts to see all those nice techs aligned and yet not taking anything, but I think right now we have other priorities and we need to keep them. Let's hope the next conflict is one worth fighting for. We are definitely a bit behind, but treachery should allow us to get that alliance. Hopefully we fight for 2 victory points next round, which would be great, and then this alliance is or should be within reach, hopefully as well. So that would mean another 2 points, plus maybe 2 points here, plus 1 point here, would mean 5 points. Obviously it's not all gonna happen within one turn, but these are achievable, and obviously our last snooper token here. So that's our path to end game. Hopefully we get to achieve it. Interesting. He's not even... Oh yeah, he's deploying more. Yeah, fighting for that makes sense, for sure. Opulence, very good card, but certainly a bit too late for that. So our hand next round is really about treachery, and the rest we'll have to do, but it's not great for us. We kinda need to get those snooper tokens done and dusted, probably also hoping for that alliance. And yet those cards are all in our hand right now. So we kinda have to hope that next conflict is not the end of it. Otherwise we will most likely be a bit in a complicated position. Maybe Arrakis Liaison can help us with the research station. Then we could potentially draw another good card here. Oh, he's fighting for that. And sending another 2 troops in. Thanks to treachery. Well, we can be quite happy that he didn't decide to go for the Spacing Guild alliance. because that was up for grabs within one move for him. But he probably is targeting a Spice Must Flow at the same time, so that's probably why selective breeding over False Space. So that's a Spice Must Flow. That's, by the way, a point I didn't even count in my long-term plan before, in what I call the path to endgame. So I'm not sure to fully understand why selective breeding then, if he was that far from a Spice Must Flow. But good for us for sure. Maybe he's just trying to contest that and feels like it's within his reach for next round to just steal a point from Ilban. That could work. That's good, guys. Get your combat cards out of the way, because next round we want to win it. Oh, that's better than we could hope for. They get everything out. So let's hope for a 2 victory point conflict. It would really be very important for us right now. Yes. Oh, and it's even ours, so there's a control bonus. Very good. That is really very good. We don't have to start with Treachery, because no one else is even close of having enough for a Hayliner, but we will for sure start with it, given those 2 water that we need for Arrakis Liaison to a research station, and hoping for something a bit more meaningful in terms of last agent round, maybe something to bring us to secrets, or to wealth, probably, to get those snooper tokens out of the way, get closer to the Alliance, would really be of importance. Baron and his shipping, name a better combo. This game has been all about them two. What is he buying now? No, he cannot buy anything, right? He didn't go up to... Ah, he just changed his mind. He didn't take Spice, but Solari. Probably eyeing up a High Council. So that's us going all in. And it will hopefully be enough, because we don't really plan on going anywhere else to recruit any additional troops. Let's see, we should get 2 more from Treachery right now. And Baron has a huge garrison, so if he has a rapid mobilization, that would be bad news. So let's see, our deck will be remixed into this, given we draw it. We want to draw with Research Station. What would be ideal for us is a diplomacy. Guild bankers would be awesome for the reveal, actually. And anything with persuasion, basically. Space travel, convincing argument. Well, we don't have that much, actually. We have them most of them are right here. Quite happy he didn't target me with blocking the research station. I guess he's blocking what he wants to go next, which gives him 2 spies. Not outstanding, but I guess it's that much closer to a Hayliner for a next round. Getting to water. Maybe he's thinking research station. Maybe Great Flat to get 6 spies out of here. I guess that means he doesn't have rapid mobilization, which is good for us. Otherwise, I wouldn't see the point of deploying now. He should rather keep them in hand and, I mean, in his garrison and way up at the end of his reveal turn if it seems like likely for him to win thanks to that garrison. So I guess that's good news. Because he only has 1 agent left, so he's most likely gonna be maximum hardy warrior, so that would mean another 8 in strength, 14. He's got 2 intrigue cards, which is not great. But let's see, I mean, if he goes to our hardy warriors, we probably will have to try and defend ourselves as much as possible. But that could also mean just going to secrets with hopefully a diplomacy by then, giving us 2 intrigue cards. I know that wouldn't give us 2 intrigue cards, just 1, because this would be just an additional bump. Anyways, let's start with what we can do right now, which is a research station. Okay, at least we have enough for a Spice Must Flow, but those are not great cards to play afterwards. Only choice we actually have, keeping in mind we want to keep 9 for a Spice Must Flow, is playing Dune. Only place we can do that is Haga Basin, so pretty restricted there. Really hoping that Baron is not going anything much more than that, because we, as said, we don't have any way of actually getting any more troops or strength. Although he doesn't know that, thankfully, but it is a bit of a problem. Let's see a bit, let's make a roundup of the points. Armand is very well on track. I mean, he could have another 2 points out of factions if he's looking for that. Wealth from Baron, which is good for us. He had so many, let's say, bonus points with the conflicts to here. Spice Must Flow, detonation device, 4 uncontested and unconventional points, let's call them. Baron getting to 8 right now, thanks to that little trick. Oh, I almost revealed early. Seeing him empty here, I don't know, for some reason it made me bug a bit. Let's do that. I mean, it's our only play right now, but it's also not to reveal too early, because then they would see that our strength is limited to that and an intrigue card. And I don't want to show that too early. Ilban has 1 conflict, 1 Spice Must Flow. Baron has 2 alliances actually, that's what brings him that high. Otherwise he only has 1, yeah, unconventional point. So our next hand should have some of what we need, really hoping for diplomacy and guild bankers just to get those 2 points out, and then we should be at... I'm not gonna jinx it, I'm not gonna say anything. But we should be nicely set up for at least competing for the top spots. But yes, with one intrigue from Baron, I can quite safely say that he cannot catch up with us here. So we should gain those 2 points. So that means we should be at 9, which is great. And then definitely just eyeing up those 2 points here. In priority this one, because Guild Banker can be used differently in case it's taken. We could just keep it for a reveal if we get 6 persuasion, which is not a given here. Actually not at all. But let's see. Maybe we can rather go to selective breeding to try to make that happen as well, potentially. Baron passing, but there was never really a doubt here, since he's 12 strength away from us. That's great, and now we control Imperial Basin with our Dreadnought as well. Means some extra spice maybe coming our way. Another 2 victory point conflict. I would have preferred something else here, to be honest, because we are probably not going to be able to focus much on that right now. Our signet ring actually could be worth it here, because we won't have this alliance. We can just go up here, and playing our signet ring will allow us to come back down here, not losing anything, and jumping to up here, which I quite like. So I think it is a diplomacy to selective breeding as a start. Let's breed selectively. Let's trash. There might be some endgame cards, so I might not really want to trash a Spice Must Flow. We have one with Ilban, one and none here. And we have 2, but we're not sure we can buy another one. So let's just trash this and hope we don't pick up a Spice Must Flow. Famous last words, obviously. But I mean, in the end it's a tiebreaker, so maybe it will still be helpful. Let's find any good excuse to justify this decision. Anyways, we have just 2 persuasion, so even if that was a ideal card, let's say a 2 persuasion one, we would be at 4 right now, so given we would still want to play signet ring, 3, so in the end, why not a Spice Must Flow? We are anyways quite far from having 6. But now, Guild Bankers to Wealth could mean we go up here, just to make sure to secure it, because I mean, I would expect none of them to even go to Wealth, because it doesn't bring much at this stage of the game. but it means 1 point for actually Ilban and me. So us going there brings us up here. Oh wait, no, it doesn't work. Signaturing is only gaining 1 influence with a faction where you have a snooper token. So we need to do that first, and then hope that wealth is still open by then. That's not ideal for us. I would have preferred Ilban going there, given his lower end points, and he also has 2 autos and would maybe distract him from wealth. Now definitely reducing his options as well. Hopefully that doesn't mean he will be willing to go to wealth. Because for us, picking up 3 spies right now is not really feasible. We could pick up a maximum of 2 here with the signaturing. That also means, I mean, not picking up an entry card, it's a bit of an opportunity cost. But I mean, if it would lead us to 4 spies, I would do it for sure, because then at least we would have quite certainly an open spot with the Emperor. But given we don't even get to 4 spies, we will just play it here. Hopefully a nice trick card. So let's go back down here, no impact whatsoever. And let's take another point here, plus the additional bump, plus the bonus, which puts us in quite a good position, and hopefully Ilban is not tempted by wealth. Dreadnought will be taking Sonic Snoopers on the way with his negotiator. And regardless if we win or not, I am quite happy with this endgame, especially given my last game with Tessia. I was in a very good position up to round 7, I would say, or 6, and then I kind of fumbled my endgame, having too many plans, too many ideas, going in every direction and ending up not being able to do any of it, and that was super frustrating. It was probably one of my most frustrating games, like, ever. So it was also a bit of a challenge now to play with Tessia and see if we could make something happen with her. Not saying that we will win that one, but let's say we at least are fighting well up to the last round. So thankfully it doesn't have any more Dreadnought, so we cannot make use of that deck. No, That's quite a surprise. Why would he go to wealth? He's probably able to go to conspire afterwards. He probably has another. Ah, that's annoying. That is very annoying. Because right now it means we have nothing. I mean, we could do poison snooper. We could go pick up that artillery, which doesn't mean much, but maybe it leads us to a... Ah no, he has anyways his restricted ordnance, so probably not. But let's see. Let's throw it. Oh, that's so unexpected from Baron. And very annoying. We have 3. We could get to 5 actually thanks to the High Council, but we need 6. Again, missing 1 persuasion, so that's where the spice must flow changed and everything. I should have trashed it. In hindsight, I should have trashed it for sure. Nothing we can do with those decks, right? Then I'd like to keep the dagger, to be fair, because if it doesn't mean anything here, maybe we still go buy that tech. No, we don't buy any tech. Unless actually it's free. Oh, it's such a mess. No, I messed it up. I didn't buy it. It was free. Ah no, I have it. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I have it here. Okay. I kind of panicked here. I mean, let's hope it still means we can win that game, because being that close to the alliance. Let's see, what does Baron have? So if he has cornered the market, it means nothing for him. Ah, maybe it's the plans within plans. If he comes here, then he would get 2 points out of it. That would be it. Armand, plans within plans means nothing to him. Only has 1 spice must flow, so corner the market, best case, gives him 1 point. Ilban, 1 spice must flow. If he buys another one, could mean 1 point. Plans within plans, useless. The tech one useless, the one for 10 plus Solari useless. I think only Baron is a real threat. I mean, obviously also in terms of victory points currently, although Armand actually gets to 10 right now, should get at least, based on how the conflict looks, but his detonation devices won't be useful, thankfully. Seems Ilban was defeated. He left the game. Oh, to be fair, with his reveal, he might still have a shot at that conflict. Tomarki has not been picked right now, it's still there. Okay. So it could be a tiebreaker, and for that we hopefully end up third to tie the Baron in terms of spice. So him doing this leads him to 10. And plans within plans would lead him to 11 then, because he has only 3 factions with 3 plus. And now he's at 0 spies, so if we win that, we would be at 3 spies as well. But he's got more Solaris, so yeah, kinda need it a bit better than that. So we need more spies, so hopefully we end up third here just in case he's got an endgame. let's not buy anything as usual. Last round, better not uncover anything that could help other players. Oh, but he might also get a Spice Must Flow with 5 cards. Although he doesn't have any high council, so maybe not. Hopefully not, obviously. That's a tight game. I like those kind of finishes. It's so close. Have no clue. I mean, Armin could also win it with a Spice Must Flow plus the conflict. He's at 11. Have to acknowledge good plays, and that one was an unexpected one, but a very good one to take that alliance away. Yeah, obviously. Now Armand is at 9, probably 11. So that's one more reason for us to gain that spice to potentially win a tiebreaker in case he doesn't have any endgame there, which we strongly hope. No spice must flow for Baron. Four intrigues. I mean, surely there's a combat card there. Probably we won't be able to win it on tiebreaker. Oh, he passes. Awesome. So let's see what happens now. An endgame for Ilban. Another endgame for Ilban. And that's it. So that means we win on a tiebreaker and a close one for that. Awesome. Let's have a quick look at what it does to our little stars. I think now we should be going through. Oh no, sorry. We still have 2 stars left now to go to diamond, but we finally edge closer to what we target, being the master's rank. So thank you very much, everyone. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, see you soon hopefully, and have a good one. Bye bye.